Today marks 6 months since Russian forces invaded Ukraine, coinciding with the anniversary of Ukraine's 1991 independence from Soviet rule. There are concerns that the significant day may prompt Russia to attack the capital, Kyiv, with the capital banning public gatherings until tomorrow. Here's the latest from Sky News UK.
There'll be no celebrations, no annual military parade in the capital today. They've been cancelled for fear of a Russian attack. Instead, yesterday, President Zelensky attended a flag-raising ceremony in Kyiv and vowed that the blue and yellow would one day fly again over all of Ukraine. Concerns over reports of metal cages being built in the Russian-held Ukrainian city of Mariupol. They fear that Russia may hold an international tribunal using the cages to restrain Ukrainian prisoners of war. Today will be bittersweet for Ukraine. They will mark independence from Soviet rule under the cloud of more violence from modern-day Russia. And on the front lines, the fighting will grind on.
President Volodymyr Zelensky has vowed any attack will be met by a powerful response. Joining the show now to discuss this is the Australian Federation of Ukrainian Organisations co-chair, Stefan Romaniw. Thanks for joining us, Stefan. It's been a big day for you in Melbourne. You've had the Ukrainian ambassador down there marking the occasion. What's your feedback from Ukraine? There'd be a lot of tension around this Independence Day. All right. Apologies there, Stefan. Romaniw is without audio there at the moment. We couldn't hear what he was saying. As I mentioned, the Ukrainian ambassador to Australia was in Melbourne today with the community marking Independence Day, which was a big occasion in Melbourne. So I believe we've re-established that audio connection. Stefan, you can hear me now. I just wanted to get your sense of today's activities in Melbourne, also the trepidation you might be hearing down the line from Ukraine.
Chris, good to be back with you again. Yes, look, I've just spoken to people in Kyiv a couple of minutes ago. Trepidation. There have been signals, people are concerned. But at the same time, I think what we're seeing in Ukraine is that resilience. And in your report, it basically said no parades today in Ukraine. And normally they're pretty big parades. But we are seeing on Khreshchatyk, the main drag, the outcome of the resilience of Ukrainians. We're seeing smashed up Russian tanks, vehicles, other equipment, which shows that we're very, very strong in what we're doing and very resilient. In terms of Putin, obviously Putin is going to try and exploit this day, as he normally does. He tries to exploit every opportunity he has. We know that ultimately the international community will continue to support Ukraine. In terms of what we've had here in Melbourne today, again, we wanted to send a strong message. We wanted to send a strong message in the first instance. We can't have Ukraine fatigue. There is a war. People are dying. Russia continues to shoot missiles, continues to kill. In Melbourne today, we've had a flag-raising ceremony with the ambassador. Again, that was a very, very strong message to say that the state of Victoria is with Ukraine. This evening, the city will be lit up in blue and yellow. We've had prominent business people this morning, and again, we'll have them again this evening, all showing support. And I've done a number of interviews today, and the question has been, well, how's Australia supporting us? We've just had a very strong message from the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister visited Kyiv recently. The ambassador was there. I was there. The Prime Minister has now shown that he really wants to continue supporting Ukraine. And what we're calling on the Australian government is to do a number of things. One is to keep those sanctions up. That's the first thing. Secondly is provide ongoing military lethal support for Ukraine. When I say sanctions, the interesting thing, Chris, is that you might have heard the other day that a Russian oligarch has got some business here in Australia, now wants to take Penny Wong and the government to court because he believes that he's only a tier 2 or a tier 3 friend of Putin. We see that the oligarchs are now starting to feel the pinch, which is good. And I think collectively we just need to keep the foot on the pedal to make sure that Russia understands we will not tolerate. When I say we, the international community will not tolerate their behaviour. People are dying. Women and girls are being raped. We see that they continue. You saw the cages again, a mock court to show that he wants to show the West that he wants to do something. And I think on your program, I've spoken before. We've said the question of Russia and Ukraine is one thing. China, Taiwan is another issue, and we need to make sure that sovereignty and territorial integrity is maintained, whether it's in Ukraine, whether it's in other parts of the world. So,
indeed, Stefan, that's this anniversary today just underscores the fragility of the sovereign state. To think that just 31 years on from throwing off the Soviet yoke, you can be in this situation is just deplorable. So it's an occasion worth marking. Thanks for joining us, Stefan. I appreciate it.
Thanks.
Stefan Romaniw there, who's heads up that Ukrainian organisation here in Australia. He's been back and forth to Ukraine throughout this conflict.